We're tuning in to another episode of Ponder Cruise. Today my guest is Kara. How are you, Kara?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic.
I've never done something like this. This is so cool. I can hear myself and everything that's going around. Very, very fun.
It's the peak of college experience.
It feels like it. It feels like so many people are doing podcasts, but now I get it. Sitting here, I'm like, this feels so cool.
Yeah. Whoa. So, how's your week been?
It's Monday. It feels like it was such a long Monday, I guess, in general. I feel like I've been running around a whole bunch, but I had such a fun Super Bowl weekend. Had people over and we just hung out and did some college student stuff, and we I don't remember a lot of it.
Did you enjoy the game?
Sure. Yeah, it was a great game. It was kind of boring, if I'm going to be honest.
What? Dude, I was watching this. I was watching the game. There was commercials every 5 minutes.
There was commercials every 5 minutes.
It was 10 minutes of commercials and then 5 minutes of gameplay.
Yeah, no, 100%. Did you stream it?
No.
So we streamed it on Paramount Plus, and we thought it was really, really weird that we couldn't. There were, at least on the Paramount streaming, there were no McDonald's commercials, which is weird. There were no Mountain Dew commercials, Doritos commercials. I don't know, it just felt so off. Why wouldn't there be any of those? Those are classic Super Bowl commercials, They
got the Pfizer commercial.
I saw they got the Pfizer commercial, and they got a Beyonce commercial. Apparently some people even saw they had a Kanye commercial across a different part of the country got a Kanye commercial, and he spent so it just looks like him filming a video of himself, and he's so we blew our whole advertising budget on the advertising slot time, so this is the ad, and it's just go to Yeezy.com, YEEZY.com. It's just Kanye. I'm okay, whatever. But yeah, the Super Bowl was fun. How about you? What did you do for the Super Bowl?
About the same. I watched it for a little bit and then got tired of ads.
Yeah.
So I stopped. It was bad. It was bad. I was, yeah.
No, 100%.
They get old. They get old for sure. And it was weird. The ads just get weird.
They
now
did.
Now that AI's around, I don't.
We kept a AI commercial tally. There were 5.
You saw 5?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see any, but I don't know if I'd even recognize them.
Yeah.
Which ones?
They were for the church, the Christian church. It was Jesus ads. It was funny. I'm sorry, but it was really funny.
What? I missed out. I didn't even see those.
Yeah. They were yeah, there were a couple. The first one was all these AI created photos of people washing someone else's feet, and then it was Jesus cleansed blah 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 blah. I don't remember. At the end of it, it was he loves you and Jesus loves you, so visit Jesus.com. I was this is a lot. The church spent a lot of money on that. That was very funny.
Or not. Seems like it's pretty cheap to make stuff with AI. Which is why it's scary.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
So, what else did you do?
What else did I do? I don't know. So I actually kind of have a funny story. So the other day I had a betta fish and it killed itself. And it jumped out of its tank. And I found it. I was on the phone with my boyfriend, and I was la 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 la, let's go check on my fish and see. I was I don't see him in this tank, and I look down, and it's he just is dead on my desk.
That's dramatic.
It was so dramatic. I was oh my god, I can't even look at it right now. It was so bad, and But I just recently got, like, quite literally the next day after that whole thing happened, I was like, I should just get another fish. I love betas. They're so pretty. And I got another fish, and he was sick. And I was like, what the fuck? They sold me a sick fish? Ugh, whatever. And so he has been on medicine and he's been doing a lot better, but I have just been, like, obsessive over, like, making sure that the fish is okay. I'm like, I know, first off, this beta was $17. I was like,
That's
I dropped.
it?
Well, other
They're more
betas.
expensive.
Well, they aren't very expensive normally. Like, the non-pretty ones are like $5. And it's like, ooh, you have a beta. But this
The
one,
strays.
yeah, and I dropped like $17 on this guy. So I was like, I swear to God, if he dies here in like a week, I'm done. I'm done with fish for a little while. I'll just like...
Why betas?
I don't know. I just always really, really liked them. Okay, so I've had now 4 beta fishes. 2 of them froze or got too cold, and it wasn't my fault because my friends are like watching them, and they didn't like leave the light on or the heat on, and they froze and came back to me, and I was like, oh my god. I was like little too, and I was like, they're sick, and then they died. So this last one, before the third one that I had, long story short, this family didn't care about the fish at all. And I was house sitting for them, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna tell them that the fish died, and I just took the fish.
What?
And yeah, I took the fish from this family, and they didn't really care. And I like dropped $150, get a tank and the gravel and this and this and this and this and this. And so then I moved a month later or so, and the fish made it through the move, and I was trying to clean his tank, and I didn't temp the water in the thing that I was like putting him in, like to take him out, and I boiled him.
No.
The water was too hot, and he like floundered around for a second and then stopped.
Oh my god.
So I boiled that one. So everyone, for when I got this last fish, they were like, Kara, if you can't get more fish, you're just gonna kill it. I was like, no, I promise this fish is gonna live. And then he killed himself, and I was like, dang.
This is a nightmare hobby.
I mean, if maybe, but
Did you ever have them fight? You ever get to?
no,
Watch them.
no, I don't like that. But this beta here, I'll show you a picture later. But this beta, I named him Moon. He's a half moon beta, and he's like super big and super big like tail, and he's aggressive. He like is like pretty big compared to like other betas I've had, and you see him like swimming through the tank, and he's like ready to fight someone. I'm like, I will not put any other fish in there. They'll just lose. It'd be kind of funny.
Do you know a lot about betas? Like, where do they come from?
They are tropical fish. I think Asian origin, but yeah, they're tropical fish, and they can be like found in the wild. They prefer like really hot water and stuff. But
Like on the coastal water, or like in rivers?
I don't know, actually. I just have been told that they're tropical fish, and I'm pretty sure of Asian origin, and then they need like 75-degree water.
Yeah.
But super duper pretty, and they can like grow to like a decent size. I have I named Moon in a 5-gallon tank right now, and it's a good size. Yeah.
Moon.
I
like that.
Thank you. This is such a cool studio. I don't know how many other people have like been in here, been able to like experience like this type of setup, but it's really cool up here.
It's a hidden gem.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite part's the view.
No,
You can
definitely.
you can just see like Pullman fields, and just goes forever. It's like an
No,
ocean out here.
absolutely. I can imagine like when we finally get out of the the winter weather months, and like the sun sets at like 7 p.m., 8 p.m. rather than like 4:30. Like I can imagine like the sunset and everything just like filling the room, and you can like just a much longer day than the.
Amazing.
Oh yeah.
Did you see the sunset the other day?
Mm-mm.
Amazing.
Was it?
What place has your favorite sunsets?
Like in Pullman or just in
Anywhere
general?
in the world.
Ooh.
Best sunsets you've seen. Place wise.
Okay, so I honestly do really like the Pullman sunsets, but if you've ever been to Cannon Beach in Oregon,
Really?
like right there on the coast, it just can like you can see the whole sun like dipping into the ocean, and it's super duper pretty. But again, it's Oregon and West Coast, and most of the time it's overcast and pretty weather, so you gotta find those like really bright and clear days to actually watch the sunset. What about you?
It's probably Pullman or Hawaii for me.
Yeah?
I feel like the west side has a lot of potential, but like you said, it's always cloudy.
Yeah, it's always cloudy or like trees are blocking it, so
Yeah.
it gives a like very different like sunset effect, because I do like the sunsets over in the west side too, but like Cannon Beach is very, very cool. It's very, very pretty.
On the ocean.
On the ocean.
Turn it orange. Let's go. I love the color so much. It's my favorite color. Orange.
Yeah. Yeah?
Sunset orange.
Really? Why?
Incredible. It's just the most vibrant to me. It's like the most feels alive. It's like that same
alive.
color that they like try to get out of gold. The reason
Yeah.
that people like gold so much. I feel like that sunset color is like that times 10.
Yeah, like the golden hour, kind of like
That like shiny, like
Yeah.
intricate,
yeah.
but like
No,
Love it.
100%. That's very, very fun. My favorite color, ironically, is like red, like a deep like wine red, because I think it just like pops and like stands out. Usually, always in a crowd, and that's kind of something like not only in my professional life, but like in my own personal life, I kind of want to always like pop just a little bit, because I think I have I don't know, that type of personality, and that's the way I usually kind of want to reflect it. Which, by the way, I don't know why so many people hate on the what's your favorite color question when you're like getting to know someone. Like, elaborate more on it. I don't like, you don't just have to be like red, blue, like, or give it like, right, like, or give it like, I really like turquoise because of like this memory, or I really like turquoise, or like sky blue because it's bright, or even because it's bright, or because it's like a little different is better than just like, I like blue, all shades of blue, whatever. Like, I don't know, I think it's so lame when people are like, what's your favorite color question is such a bad question, because I don't know, you can learn a lot about the way someone responds in that way too.
just overused.
Yeah, I just think it's like, I don't know. I like learning about someone's favorite color. I once had someone tell me like, because they were like 21 or something. They were like, what are we, 12? I don't have a favorite color anymore. I was like, how old are you? Who cares? Like, ooh, you're so cool, blah, 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 blah.
Get wrecked.
Yeah, get wrecked. Wow, you don't have a favorite color. I don't know. I just think it's important to always, like, not always have a reason, but, like, be able to, like, explain your answer
Should
a little
have a
bit
story.
more. Yeah, a story or an explanation at least on, like, why you're answering in that way, or what you're talking about, or why. Like, you shouldn't just, like, say it to say it, I guess. I don't know.
Just to get some exhales out. You know.
Yeah.
Kara, plug your club.
Oh.
Tell us about it.
Okay, so, for those of you who don't know, I am the president of Delta Sigma Pi, and which is a business fraternity club, mostly emphasis on the word club there, because we don't have a house or anything like that, and of course...
Lame.
I know. But we don't have a house or anything like that, and girls and guys can join. Fraternity is just like, because both can join, they wanted to use fraternity, it's whatever. But so it's a business fraternity club, and we focus on professionalism, scholarship, brotherhood, and community services are like our 4 pillars as a club. And it's a really, really cool experience because we only exclusively recruit business majors. So sorry to all the STEM and all the other majors. But business majors, econ, some agriculture, and even, I think, fashion designers too, or like people who wanted to go in like the sales world of that. But it's really, really cool experience. We have a lot of like companies who specifically want to come and talk to Delta Sigma Pi and like have those like one-on-one discussions with like those students. We've done some community service where we made blankets for the animal shelter here in town. We try and like keep it fun and engaging because we meet only once a week, every Tuesday from 6 to 7, and we try and like keep it fun because, you know, it's only an hour, and like 6 to 7 is not a great time, but it's like I joined the club because I really wanted to like meet some more like-minded people, but I ended up making so many friends with it. I was so excited to see those people. I was like, yes, because I didn't have a lot of classes with them. So from 6 to 7, I was like, okay, here's my time to like finally catch up with like so-and-so who I haven't seen in like a week, you know, da-da-da-da-da. So it was like really, really fun, which we just finished our recruitment cycle, I guess, but we'll be actually tabling in Todd and selling Valentine's stuff, little Valentine's goodie bags. Very, very fun, and just like there to talk about DSP stuff as well. So we'll be in Todd Hall selling those for like $1. Something fun, yeah. Come say hi, yeah.
How long have you been part of the club?
I think I'm coming, this is my 2 years, I believe. Nice. Because, yeah, around this time, yeah, it'll be 2 years in September because I joined 22. Yeah.
Kara, you've been in this club for 2 years and you're the president.
I know.
That's ridiculous.
I know. So I joined the club, and then they were like, all the exec positions are open, so you should run. I was like, okay, I'll just like run for a position, and I was VP of Alumni Relations. And then they were like... From
starting?
Yeah.
Like when you first joined?
Like the end of my first semester of joining. Yeah. So, and then with that, I was able to put on a etiquette dinner, which was very, very cool at the Marriott Hospitality Culinary Innovation Center in Todd, which is our beautiful dining room and like practically professional 4-star kitchen, 4.5-star kitchen. If you've ever been in there, it's Todd 268. Very pretty. And we had Pyramid Global Hospitality be one of our sponsors, and then we also had the Crimson and Gray Fund also sponsor it, so it was like free for our club. It was a very, very cool experience, and all the members came. There was wine, there was 3 courses, and we learned how to like eat fairly messy foods in like all of our business clothes, and we had a teacher like walk us through it. It was very, very cool. And then I was originally going to run for senior vice president, just to like learn alongside the president and then take on the president role my senior year. But someone nominated me to be president. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, yeah, let's try this and see. And it's been a really big learning curve. It's been so fun though. Being like the leader of a club, you're like, oh shit. it's like you're the last, not one of the last, not the last person, but you're like one of the last people that like people like through the channels and stuff, you're like at the top. And it's weird. I feel like I don't know, I just want to be like friends with everyone and just be like, you know, it's all good, it's okay, and then like a tough conversation has to come up and like shoot. Oh gosh, okay, let me put on my leadership hat and be like, hey, so but it's been a really, really cool experience, and I'm very, very fortunate that I've been able to like be a part of it now for 2 years and coming on 3 years. So I'm here for like another whole year. I'll be graduating in spring of 25, but I'll I'll hopefully still be in Delta Sigma Pi and graduate with 3 years in that and being, just really involved.
I've heard that companies are like, they kind of have the same personality that their manager has or like the leader has.
Mm-hmm.
Delta Sigma Pi carrier kind of personality.
Oh, I see. I think kind of. We are, so my first semester as leader, I was like very loose with it. I was like, oh, it's like not that big of a deal. It'll be okay. Like, I came every single day because I wanted to be there, so I'm sure everyone else has that same mentality. We ended up like, people just like stopped showing up to me, and I was like, oh my god, I need people to come and we need to figure this out because like, or I need to like set the boundary and like set it straight and be like, this is the expectation and the boundary that you need to meet to be a part of this club. And I have a really hard time with like setting that. But now in spring semester, we have our own vision mission statement, which is kickstarting your potential into the corporate world. Our exec team kind of came up with that at the start of this year. We're reinstating committees. I think the Delta Sigma Pi itself is this really free-flowing and all-accepting, like, business, I guess. That I don't think there's, like, one exact, like, business or company that Delta Sigma Pi really, like, emulates or, like, reflects or anything. There are just so many different business majors and business people that are involved in it.
It's an institution.
It's an institution for sure, but the I think it's very much its own entity and like running as like an institution or a business in itself. But refocusing it for myself. They flew out all the presidents, or one person from each chapter if the president couldn't go, to St. Louis, Missouri in early January. So it was terrible weather. I got delayed like 10 hours in 3 hours in Spokane, and then like 6 or 7 hours in Texas. It was a long day, but they flew us all out to like be a part of this like President's Academy workshop where you learn how to like, really be like a leader within the chapter. I learned a lot from there, which is where like building our own vision statement or mission statement in that way, and like how to have those tough conversations like as a leader, and like what to setting those expectations for the exec teams and this and this and this. It was a really cool experience that like our national chapter like paid for and flew us all out. And I think, if anyone has the opportunity to be able to like do something that in like another club, or you could like come join Delta Sigma Pi and I'll try and send you. But I would definitely go ahead and jump into it. I think it's a really, really cool experience.
Was it the best part so far?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I really was like kind of living in the excitement and energy of that etiquette dinner from last year. I was like, I gotta do it again, but like it kind of didn't come into fruition this semester, and I like had to let it go. But the President's Academy was really like energizing for this coming semester. I'm like, ooh, okay, now I got it. I know what I need to do. I feel like I'm ready to like tackle whatever comes at me this semester, and like however our chapter will like grow or change or whatever. But I really felt like much more confident in my leadership skills to and bring that back to our chapter and be able to like really like give the whole team some gusto so that they can run with it too, and I don't have to be as like hands-on, but I don't mind being hands-on at the same time. So I don't know, I think it's
whatever works.
Yeah, whatever works. I will say, like, making meetings mandatory felt kind of mean in the beginning, but I was like, I don't know what else to do. No one's gonna show up if I don't make it mandatory. So
How did you make it mandatory? Just like, you're gonna get kicked out if you don't come?
well, we made it mandatory, and then each meeting that you attend, you get a raffle ticket, and at the end of the month, if you attend, like, we'll have a raffle for like a $15 gift card of their choice.
That's not even mean. What are you talking about?
I felt really bad, so that was what the the reason why it's so nice. I was like, I don't want to like make it mandatory. I feel bad about that, but like it was.
So I'm gonna give them $15.
Yeah.
Take that.
Take that. Yeah. Well, the other little part to that is if you have a very legitimate reason that you can't make it to chapter, like, we'll give you the excused absence. But like, we were having some issues in the past, people just being like, I'm not gonna come, sorry. Or like, I can't come, sorry, and not say any other reason why, or just like not show up at all. So if you have an excused absence, that's fine. But if you don't have an excused absence or don't show up, one of your tickets gets pulled out. Ooh, so you get less of a chance to win that $15 gift card. So, throwing down the hammer there.
Yeah. Wow.
Can't you tell I'm such a strict, hard-headed, mean person? Oh yeah.
Did it work?
Yeah. We've had a lot more people coming in and like attending and being present there.
Nice.
You know, it was nice to see, and I'm hoping that by using this incentive, it'll actually just like eventually just kickstart someone to just want to come to chapter. You know, not just for like the possibility of getting a $15 gift card at the end of the month, but like, you know, we'll see. Because again, I really like DSP. I really like coming over. What you looking at?
I think those lights just turned off. I thought I might have turned them off. Yeah. I'm listening.
No, you're good. Are you a business major?
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to join Delta Sigma Pi,
That's
Eli?
what I'm trying to figure out here.
Yeah.
Got another hour. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It sounds, well, okay. Sell me on Delta Sigma Pi right now.
Okay.
Listen, I've heard it all. You guys come into the classrooms and you give your presentation, and it's very charismatic and it's very appealing.
Yes.
What do I get out of Delta Sigma Pi that I don't get anywhere else?
So,
I mean, we'll just say just like on WSU.
Yeah.
Like as a club, what does it offer that no one else does?
So, are you very involved in like other clubs and like WSU like campus culture? Like, are you what other extracurricular stuff are you doing?
Not much. I've been to the SHRM club a couple times. I've been to like bioengineering clubs and the film club that I'm in right now. Shout out Nikhil and Jack and Owen. And I get like the networking, of course. Like the networking's great, and and maybe you're gonna tell me that Delta Sigma Pi people are the best people at the school. Can't argue with that. But.
So, I think Delta Sigma Pi, the network is insane. Like the access to it that you get as a brother is crazy. Like we are the largest nationally recognized business fraternity, and among companies and schools in the nation, it's a really we have over 300,000 collegiate chapters across the nation.
Is that like, as a business fraternity, is that like what other kind of fraternities are there besides the actual main ones?
There's AK Psi is a business fraternity. Eta Sigma Delta is the hospitality one, and AK Psi is a...
Oh, so there's different branches. There's hospitality.
So, kinda, yeah, I think there are some, but their focus is maybe a little bit different, but AK Sci lets in like all types of majors. Like you don't have to be exclusively a business major. Eta Sigma Delta I think is mostly hospitality, or like exclusive for hospitality in their network, but Delta Sigma Pi is all business majors and a couple other. So it is a super diverse network. Specifically for Delta Sigma Pi, we're the Omicron Psi chapter. We have a really good connection right now with the Carson College. We just put on the faculty engagement event. That was our first time like being able to host that, and not just have like the Carson College being able to put that on, but Michelle Chapman, shout out to Michelle Chapman, she was giving us that, and she's given us a Canva presentation to like other suitable stuff, and she's like letting other clubs, especially Delta Sigma Pi, like be able to host this. So it you can do a lot of different projects that aren't just like necessarily within the chapter, like even doing stuff like with the Carson College. It's a really cool seeing the other side of, I guess, like what goes on into planning those types of events, and really cool to like
tell me about that. What is on the other side?
So we sat in quite a few meetings with Michelle, my senior VP Natalie, and I sat in those meetings with her, and she just like kind of gave us a rundown. She like, so each club gets like one free rental for the year of the senior ballroom, and we used our one free rental for this other event we put on. It was during the power outage. Remember when all the heaters went out in like November?
This year?
Yeah.
Oh yeah!
Yeah.
The gas line exploded.
Yeah, the gas line exploded. So we had an event sadly on that weekend. So like 4 people showed up. It was bad. It was so awkward. We had the whole ballroom and like no one was there. It was kind of funny. But that was like our one free use. But Michelle like always has the faculty engagement event, but she gave it to us, and then like also out of her budget like paid for it for us too, even though she wasn't even like doing it. But we got in contact, we got to choose the panelists, got in contact with them, write up the types of questions that we wanted to like talk about and highlight with the students, and yeah, we ended up having 7 panelists, all from different parts of the Carson College, and including my executive head chef and manager for the MHCIC, which is very, very cool. That was fun. And yeah, so Delta Sigma Pi got to do that. We've done the do you know Cougs First?
I don't think so.
It's a also an alumni thing where it's ran by Tony Poston, and Tony Thompson was also involved in it, and one other gentleman. But in any case, we had an event with them, which is a massive alumni network that Cougs First is alumni from WSU who are looking to hire Cougs. And they have like the list of all these companies that all these like WSU alumni have been with, practically their like direct phone number, because they're wanting students to like reach out to them and talk to them. It's a super cool opportunity. But we did a Cougs First event with them. We did a GISA event. So long story short, Delta Sigma Pi does a lot of events with like outside companies, and having like our whole team there is just a lot of fun. We all just get to hang out for like a few hours and like put on this event, and then clean up and go home. It's really, really cool.
Nice.
Yeah. When do you graduate?
This year.
In May. In May. Well,
I might pull up. I'll pull up to a couple minutes.
Okay. You should. We are we doing something? I feel like we're doing something else soon, but people are always welcome to come to our meetings. They just can't vote.
What?
Or like, I know, since you're not a member or anything, you can't vote or whatever, but if it's like a super casual meeting or just like a planning meeting, yeah, you're welcome to come. Or if there's like a suitable event or something, we'll have it posted there, and that's usually an invite for like all business students.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Sounds legit. I'm sold. Sold on the club.
I know. My old friend Soho recruited me. She graduated last semester. Soho Divers. If anyone knows her out there, she is a really cool gal, and she
Shout out Soho.
shout out to Soho. She recruited me, and I've been in love with the chapter ever since. It's very, very fun.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you want to go into business after this?
Well, kinda. So I'm a hospitality major with a minor in event management, human resource management, and also a certificate in sales. So I'm doing a whole lot, which is why I've got another whole year. But I just recently had a internship with Hyatt Hotels last summer in the food and beverage department, but as a like banquets captain, where I was like just like in charge of an event. I was like given an event and in charge of like the service and the team, set up and clean up. And that was an experience, to say the least. I definitely learned a lot of what I liked and a whole lot of what I don't like. I think that's really I remember feeling kind of like defeated at the end of it, and talking to my boyfriend about it. I was like, it didn't feel like I got much out of the internship or whatever. And he was like, well, you seem like you now know for sure like that is not what you want to do, which is very valuable. I was like, oh, that's a good point. Like, I think it's just as important when you're like trying out stuff, especially when we're all like about to come out of college and stuff, like trying out a ton of different things and seeing what sticks. Like it does not hurt to change paths, and like if it's for 3 months or a year or 6 months, whatever. Like if you hate it, you only have a couple more months. You only have a year of it. Like, it's okay.
Get on the roller coaster.
Exactly. You gotta like try out a lot of things. So I'm trying to like change my mentality about it, and I'm looking at maybe like going into the sales of events, and I think that could be really, really cool. Or Visit Seattle is a really cool company that I like, and they basically just sell the city, so they work with like very closely with like the convention center and stuff, or why like big companies should use the convention center in that way. And they work with the cruise lines and work with like local Seattle companies too, to like post it on their website too about like events that's happening with them, or festivals and stuff like that. I think that's a really cool experience on like bringing in big companies. You don't have to plan anything or in that way, but because I am one of my downfalls in skills is definitely like the attention to detail, and I realized like with the internship I did not always care how aligned the fork was, you know. It's like once the fork is on the table and it looks pretty straight, I'm gonna move on. And it's like, you know,
hey,
making sure.
We're business people. If we were attention to detail people, we'd be in science.
True, very true. I just feel like, yeah, I thought I wanted to do event management after like planning the etiquette dinner and stuff, but like I don't think that's exactly where I want to go. I don't know where I want to go, and that's okay at this point. I'm like kind of open to like just trying, like I said, like a couple different things and like seeing what sticks. And I do know for sure a lot of hospitality people say you have to like move around to like move up in like management, and like every someone that I talked to moves like every 18 months. His whole family, they just like uproot and move, and I'm like, that sounds fun for sure, but like, man, that sucks. Only a year? You might as well like leave half your boxes packed. Like, what are you gonna do?
It's like a military.
I know, right? And that's what I don't want. I know for sure that I don't want to do that. But yeah, I don't know.
I definitely feel that. I've from the people I've talked to, it seems like, I mean, it's just a stressful time. About to graduate college. You don't know what's coming.
Do you have anything lined up?
I don't have anything lined up. I want to go travel. I want to go see the world.
As you should. I feel like now would be a really interesting time to travel, just with like everything that's going on in the world and the country, and we're also about to hit another election coming up here.
Yeah.
I think traveling now is going to be really, really interesting.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Do you mind if I use the restroom?
Of course. Yeah, go right ahead.
I'll be right back. Is it just out the door?
Hmm? We'll be back. And we're back.
Hello again. Thanks for the brief intermission.
Kara,
Yes.
what is college to you?
Ooh, I knew this question was coming. I think, among other things, college is about trying a ton of different things and meeting a ton of different people and like getting all these like different experiences under your belt, whether it's like education or clubs or even friends and parties. You learn so much about yourself and what you like or don't like, and all of those can be like transferable skills into like the real life, I guess, you know, whatever outside of college. But I think the college experience is so different for everyone, and it's all about like trying different things, and like I've said a lot, like seeing what sticks and what doesn't. Yeah.
You found a leadership position in it.
Right? Well, funny enough, I did not have like the normal college experience. I originally actually started at UW. Hot take, I know. And
Get out.
I started there and I ended up here and I want to finish here. I'm not planning on leaving or going anywhere else. I love the this WSU experience I've had so far, but I started at UW and then COVID happened and I was like and they were expected to be online again. I was like, I cannot do online school like this. This sucks.
What year did you start?
2019.
Oh wow, okay.
So, yeah, I graduated in 2019, so then I started UW like that following September.
Okay.
And
yeah.
then 2020 hit and we were all online. I was like, this really sucks. I don't feel like I'm just sitting in my room. And so I was working for Starbucks at the time and they have a college program online. So I transferred over to them and they reimbursed that whole year.
Shout out to Starbucks.
Kinda. That's a different feeling towards Starbucks now, but so they had a totally asynchronous school, and it turns out you have to be very self-motivated to do totally online school, which 19-year-old me with no other experience with like, not that I wasn't motivated, I guess I should say, but like trying to manage like a full college course and like I got a small promotion at Starbucks too, and I'm working like 35 hours a week. It was hard. And I ended up totally withdrawing the spring semester of 21. And I had some other stuff going on too, but I took a break and I was like, I guess I'll just re-enroll. And one of my best friend's mom was like, well, why would you just re-enroll into that program if you didn't like it or if you didn't whatever? I was like, I don't know anything else. And she was like, well, let's just see. You want to do like professional selling or hospitality, right? I was like, yeah, I think so. And she's like, let's just look it up. Schools, da-da-da-da-da. And she actually found the WSU hospitality program, which, plug to them, they are in rankings of like hospitality school, 3rd in the nation and 10th in the world.
What?
I know. So in little Pullman, out here in the middle of a freaking wheat field,
Pullman's got some stuff going on here.
I know.
It's kind of wild.
I know. So I transferred over here, and yeah, the first year, kind of going back to the college experience thing, that first year was such a change. Like, I was nervous. I was like excited to move out and nervous about like moving across the state, which ended up being okay. I remember like moving in with my roommates and we ended up not being as close as I wanted to, but I remember at the start of it I was like, they're gonna become my best friends and it's gonna be great, it's gonna be super duper cool. And my mom was like, I mean, maybe, but like living with people can be really hard. And I was like, how hard could it be? Like, I'm great to live with, you know? And oh my gosh, not to say that I was the perfect roommate either. Like, I know I must have been loud or like crashing into things. I'm clumsy and was up late and whatever. But, wow, living with people is hard. And like, that was part of like learning in college. And then second set of roommates kind of came in and that was a lot more chill. We kind of did our own stuff and I met my boyfriend that year. And, but yeah, it was just a whole lot. It's been a whole lot of learning, and I'll have my official like 4-year college experience at WSU come spring 25. Yeah, it's kind of wild to say. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it though. At the moment I'm like excited about graduation a little bit because I don't know, getting a little antsy, but we'll see how I feel spring semester. It's like, I don't want to go. I don't know.
I just think college is going to be so different, like, even next year with AI and, like, did you see the new Apple VR things?
The Vision Pro, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I think...
Those are definitely going to be, like, in classrooms, and I remember...
One day.
I had this one class with a professor, like, a year ago. And when I was in high school, You weren't allowed to have laptops. You weren't allowed to have phones. And even my first, like, when we first came back from COVID, like, professors were still kind of cracking down about that. A little bit.
Yeah.
Not too much. But, like, it's just so prevalent.
Yeah.
They're starting to give up. And I had this one class, the professor was, like, getting mad because everyone was just sitting on their laptop, like, screen up on their phone.
Yeah.
I walked around to this one kid who was just watching a football game mid-lecture. And he's like, what are you doing? The kid's like, I'm watching a football game.
No.
End of
way.
conversation. Like, that was it.
That was it?
The kid was just back there in class watching a football game. And you know what? Like, you're paying for college. Like,
right.
If you want to waste it yourself, waste it yourself.
Right. No, 100%. I think it's really interesting, the people who decide to take that route. They were probably told, like, oh, you're going to go to college, you're going to or join the sorority or fraternity or whatever. Not to bash on fraternities or Delta Sigma Pi, but, you know. But, yeah, I think it's so interesting. The value in, like, college experience and education is, like...
It's changing.
It is definitely changing, but I think it's the bottom line of it is, like, can you learn? Can you, like, learn skills? Like, that's kind of like the end all be all. Like, I got this degree because I learned all this stuff and I was able to learn it and do it. So if you're, like, cheating yourself of that, like using ChatGPT and AI to, like, write you your essays and stuff, like, what you're paid all this money for it? If you didn't want to write the essay, just use ChatGPT, like, in general, and, like, for work and stuff. You know, if they need you to write a memo or if they need you to write an email or whatever, like, ChatGPT can do that. But, like,
do you think we should still be learning how to write memos and emails?
I think so.
If it can do that?
I think so. Why not? Like, I think that's so cool that, like, because eventually I feel like it's going to become, well, hopefully, or it'll be a special skill. Like, I can, like, physically write the email. Maybe it'll take me 5 minutes versus the instantaneous email that it'll write. But it's, like, from me and it's genuine.
Yeah.
You know, and I think authenticity and being genuine is, like, so important when you're, like, going into the workplace. I think it, like, pushes you just, like, even a little bit further, even in, like, the corporate machine, you know, like, being yourself and genuine and nice, I think is still really, really important.
Do you think you'd kind of learn how to do that in college more than outside of college?
I think they aren't mutually exclusive. I think they can kind of go hand in hand at times, where definitely my outside of the professional world is my personality is not very different, but you would not see the same parts of me in a professional setting than you would in, like, hanging with my friends, you know. And but, like, being able to, like, make that eye contact and smile and know how to, like, do the small talk and being okay with it, and also being okay with, like, silence, I think is a very valuable skill that we don't get as much now because of, like, all the technology. Circling back to that, like, I, like, am forcing myself now to, like, I've moved Instagram and TikTok off my home screen. I was just, like, using it too much, and I have
slow down there.
Oh yeah. And I have the like, do not disturb settings for, like, different times of the day. If it's, like, just personal or whatever, my wallpaper and stuff looks different, just to, like, separate that literal, like, screen and space time. And then, like, if I don't want to be bothered, like, at work or something, it's, like, a different wallpaper. Like, just having even those different types of, like, separation, I think, is really important for, like, our brain to recognize, oh, like, you should go back to, like, whatever you're doing instead of, like, checking me. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it goes the same for, like, when I'm, like, doing homework. I'd rather do it in, like, on campus when I'm, like, this is my work time, because I know if I go home, I will just, like, sit on my phone and nothing will get done. So I try and, like, really separate those spaces and, like, use that time wisely. And I learned that in college. Wow, full circle there.
Here we are.
Here we are. What about you? What do you think the college experience is? Now that you're about to graduate, too.
I mean, I think it's like... It's why I had this podcast. I mean, I don't really know what it is to me. I think that college, it's so many things at once. As everything is. But to me, with the jobs that I've had so far, it's so... You learn so much by just doing something. Getting on the ground floor and just like going to work will teach you more than anything else. Like you can sit there and listen to a person talk about something for 5 years.
Yeah.
And then the second you go out and do that thing, like every day for a week, you're going to learn more than you learned those 5 years before.
100%.
That you just had someone talking to you. So I don't really think... I think you get this comfortability from it. I think like when you read about it, when you have someone talk about it, when you like study something, you get comfortable with it. But you don't really learn how to do it necessarily.
Yeah.
Unless what I'm going to be doing is exactly what I'm doing here in college, and it's just going to be writing emails and memos, which I don't think is what it's going to be.
Right. Hopefully not, like, right?
If that is what it's going to be, I think that would be different from what work in businesses used to be. Like even during like the office era, which I think the office era is like starting to recede.
Yeah. Do you mean just like everyone sitting in like the cubicles and like writing their emails and memos and then like
you have your desktop, you have your keyboard, and like you're in your cubicle. The office era.
Yeah.
I think we had that for a while, but I think like everyone's just working. There's no reason. You can do all of that at home. You can do all of that at Starbucks. Like it used to be like the company had to provide the computers, the company had to provide and so
do you like that?
No, I can't stand it. I could never work in that environment.
Yeah. Not the cubicle area. You'd rather like work at a Starbucks or work at like...
I don't want to work there. I don't want to be sitting in front of a screen. I recognize the importance. I recognize I'm practically in this degree so I can avoid work like that because it's just everywhere.
Remind me what your degree is again.
Business management.
Got it.
It covers a little bit of everything for the most part, it seems like.
Absolutely.
There's some accounting classes, some finance classes. You don't get an in-depth idea of anything, but it's fun.
No, 100%. 100%.
So, like, with college, I think, given that, I don't really think it teaches... I think that you'll be more job ready if you just go work at a place and meet the people there than going to college. So then I've been asking myself, well, what is college? And I think it has a lot of value. I think it has a lot of value in the connections it gives you, like meeting people, learning how to talk to people, learning how to be around groups of people. And I think that it also is, more importantly, a place where information is kept.
Yeah.
I think the libraries at colleges are really important, and I think that like just having these courses that work through this information is important, because if this wasn't here, all this information wouldn't be here. All these courses with all these textbooks, like none of this would exist. And all of that it's history. All of it is like this understanding of how these things work. Even if it's just words. Yeah. Even if it's just textbooks. If this didn't exist, we wouldn't have that like rule book or like that historical like this giant like library, you would say. I almost say like it's like the memory center of society. I think that's what college is to me. And I think we get to network. Being part of it.
I think that's really well said. I think especially like a business degree, it's not like we all took like BA 201 and 202 and like the entrepreneurship class. I remember. Oh, and the teams class. Do you remember that? Oh my gosh, I remember. I remember talking to like my friend's mom, and we were like, "Oh, I'm taking like a teams class right now," and kind of rolled my eyes, and she was like, "Oh, that's like pretty valuable, learning how to like use Teams. That's very specific and niche." I was like, "No, it's like how to work in a team." And she's like, "Oh," I was like, "Yeah, like we haven't been doing that since we were like this big," and the entrepreneurship class, and it was some silly assignments in there too, but I think the value of a business degree especially is the network and the exposure that we get.
Yeah.
Like all these companies for career networking night and that are here specifically just to talk to like business students is crazy.
In those career networking nights, do you have like a kind of a way that companies express themselves that appeals to you, like a kind of like person that you meet that you're like, this company knows what they're talking about? Because like I find it all over the place.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it kind of goes back to that like authenticity and being like genuine. One question I always really like to hit companies, it's like, how do you it's always with sustainability, or like what are the sustainability efforts that your company or business are doing to like help with it? Because hospitality, like all of the waste that we produce for like events and the lights that have to go in, heating the area, and this and this and this, like there's a lot of, and washing all the towels for like a hotel, you know, there's a lot of sustainability things that go into like a hospitality company. But like some people have really, really good answers that are authentic and real, and it's like, oh, we like really make sure to mitigate da 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 da. And some people are like, we recycle, I think. And
that's so smart.
Yeah, I think it's just like, and also asking, and most people are just gonna say like, oh yeah, it was good, just like how long they've been with the company, if they worked during COVID, and did the company take care of you during COVID. And usually you get like a fairly recruiter answer, but sometimes you get like some like pretty authentic, like for me personally, yeah, they like really looked out for my family and took care of us, like we were going da 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 da. So I think those two questions are like, at least for me, kind of like, along with like, what do you guys do, da, 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 just some really kind of like drive the knife in just a little bit questions, make really see if they can like answer that type of question. Because I think career networking night is just as much of a interview, me interviewing companies, as a company is interviewing me.
Yeah.
You know, I have to find someplace that I like to work to, and if I don't, I'm gonna walk away from your booth. You know, if I don't like what you're talking about, you know. But I think those two questions have come in very handy for me, because they have to think about it for a second, or they have to like take a moment, and you can see them thinking about it. Yeah.
You get some depth.
Yeah, you get some depth with it. That isn't just like, this is the best company ever, and I've been here for la da 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 da, which you'll get that a lot and whatever, but like, then you can, with those types of questions, that I think you get more authentic answers.
Yeah.
And that's what like weeds it out for me. I'm like, if they can give like a really good answer, to finally answer your question, if they can give me like a really good answer that I also agree with, or like maybe if I don't agree with, I'll like probe them a little bit more. But if they can give a good answer, like that's a company that I would be interested in working in and taking a business card and following up with them. And yeah, what about you?
As far as the career networking nights go, I try to talk to them for as long as I can, just to keep the conversation going, because they'll cut it short pretty quick. They'll be like, this is what we do. That's it.
Yeah.
I have found that I don't feel like, it seems almost just more like advertising than actual connections being made.
Yeah. Just like churning.
Yeah.
The meat grinder. I get that.
And so I'm always happy when I find a company that I feel like is, like you said, like authentic. Like they really, they're there to get people.
Yeah, 100%.
They want.
I think a cool one I talked to this last time around was Merrill Gardens. They're a senior living place, and they had their booth set up there, and they were like really interested in talking to people. And then their little added thing, because a lot of people had their stuff, but they took headshots for people, which I think is a really, really cool experience, especially if you're like a freshman or like a sophomore who maybe hasn't like had that opportunity yet. They did it for free. and they are supposed to email me my headshot. I haven't gotten it yet, but yeah, I thought that was a really cool, like, we want you to be successful and be able to, like, maybe talk about this in, like, oh, Merrill Gardens is really cool, and, like, bring more people over in that way and, like, word of mouth. But I thought that was different, and I thought that was kind of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds cool.
Yeah. Do you know what type of company you want to maybe go back to once you're...
I didn't say anything at the career fairs, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
There's nothing that was appealing there. I really liked, this is crazy, but I worked at Jiffy Lube.
Oh.
One of the best companies. I would never think that, like, oh, working at Jiffy Lube would be, like, the place to work. But it is the place to work.
Yeah.
And I've thought so long about why. And I think it's because it's such an old company.
Yeah.
They had bureaucracy. They had all the rules, like, enough rules to keep everything moving. Mm-hmm. But they had all this flexibility because they're so old. Like, they know, like, where you can, like, kind of, like, bend a little bit, but where you need to, like, stay stiff. Everything felt so fluid.
Yeah.
And I've worked at other companies that are, like, more recent companies. Like, even these big corporations like Microsoft, or, like I haven't worked there, but, like I worked at Safeway, right? Huge corporation.
Yeah.
And it's pretty old, but it's not as old as Jiffy Lube.
Really?
Jiffy Lube goes back to Standard Oil. Like, it's a bunch, the oil, like, it's split up into a bunch of companies. But
Right.
the roots go back to, like, 1900, like, late 1800s.
Yeah.
So that's just a lot of time for a company to, like, figure its stuff out.
No,
And
100%.
when I worked at, like, these other corporations, that even if they were big, even if, like, they still get a lot of experience from just having such a range of locations. And even with that, it just wasn't as, like, clean. Like, there's almost, like, this sense of, like, less experience, just, like, of, like, how to run things. So and when you have less, it seems like that translates to kind of, like, employees are a little bit harder to deal, like, they don't really know how to deal with employees as well.
Yeah.
They don't know how to, like, figure out situations as well, so problems, like, are a lot more stressful than, like, problems at Safeway were, like, way more stressful than I felt like they needed to be. And, like, the problems at Jiffy Lube were, like, nothing. Like, cars would fall into the bay at Jiffy Lube when they figured it out. Like, they're like, yeah, okay, well, like, it'll be an issue for, like, a week, but, like, you know, like, just keep rolling.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, with that, I think that the kind of company, it's not about, like, it's not about name, it's not about, like, what kind of people or where, it's more about, like, what kind of, like, how old is this culture? Like, how like, defined is this? And it's the kind of people you work with.
I 100% agree. I think it's really, the way you've said that, the internship I had, it was, with Hyatt, and they have, and maybe it was just the location, they have, like, the building blocks for the, for this amazing culture that I would love to be a part of. I think their slogan is, taking care of guests so that they can be their best. Like, it's a great, like, mission or vision statement that, like, I really resonate with it, and they have, like, there's 6 pillars of whatever that they're focusing on, and their values, that's what it is. And one of them was, like, the, yourself, or, like, your mental health, and the company built that in to, like, really emphasize, like, we want you to take care of yourself so that you can, be your best and be able to, like, want to keep coming back to work. But, someone once talked to me about how Hyatt is, like, part of the big, like, 3. There's, like, Marriott, Hilton, and then Hyatt. And I feel like Hyatt is still just as, like, Marriott and Hilton, I feel like, is, like, the Jiffy Lube in this situation. They, like, have been around forever, and they have their culture and their values, and they have that all set up, and they, like, know what they need to do when, like, things like hit the fan. Versus maybe it was just the location. The Hyatt felt like they were still working through it.
Yeah.
Working through the kinks and everything, which is fine. But I think I want to give them like a few more years before like I would maybe return, because everyone gave me, going back to like those recruiter questions and like talking to them, like very fluffy answers. I was like, cool, you felt taken care of, and da 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 da. I like didn't feel like I got as many like authentic answers from them versus I think if I talk to someone who's been with like Marriott for longer, I think they would give me a little more substance in their answer if I like talk to them about how Marriott handled COVID or something like that.
Yeah.
But definitely company culture and like having that really built into the company is like so important. And going back to Delta Sigma Pi, full circle here, we kind of want to try and like embody that too with the with our little mission statement and like kind of setting that tone in the culture, because I was kind of letting things go willy-nilly. I thought it could kind of like work itself out, but like having this like united phrase to like drive our decisions and like does it align with what we're preaching or saying, and if not, then we won't do it, or like can we change it or whatever event, whatever thing we want to do as a chapter where it will align with that saying. I think it's really important when you're like looking for a company to like feel that alignment in yourself and the culture there.
I have a question. Based on your experience like with leadership and being part of this fact, what do you think, how do you balance, or how would you balance being authentic to your like company vision and like yourself, mm-hmm. and appealing to customers? In like what way? I guess just like my personality and when like talking to people, or like, I think you could take it anyway.
Okay.
If you were to have a company, like, would you be more like Apple and like make it your own way? This is what we're doing, or like, how do you balance that? Like, how do you figure out like we need to appeal to our customers, but at the same time, we have a vision here, and like, people aren't about it.
Mm-hmm. I think.
How far are we willing to explore?
I think it's like a lot of that trial and error and seeing what sticks, but like the people that want to stay with your company are gonna stay and like watch the changes and whatever if you are still living to that value that you kind of said at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, because I think companies change like all the time. Apple doing like AI ware from a computer back in like 89 or something like that, 90s, whatever. That's so wild. Like, how did you even get to there from point A to point B? But like, it's being able to like still handle like tough situations with your values and coming out and being transparent with your company and like being willing to try something, and if it doesn't stick, like switching back to like what you know and like trying to jump out again, and if it sticks, then like keep running with it. And I would hope my future self would be willing to like try different things and like work through it and like come up with new. I have been like thinking about this. I like want to open a coffee shop, like, and have thought about that for like so long. And I think I would hope that like my future self, when like starting a business or starting a coffee shop, like I know coffee shops aren't like revolutionary now, but I would hope I would be like willing and open to recognizing like this isn't working, like what, maybe something isn't working, whatever it is, how can I like change it while still like keeping the authenticity and the value that I set for the coffee shop itself and for the team, and how can I like keep the those people, like, I can't think of the word, I'm still, like, I guess engaged with it, I think is the word I'm looking for, and still wanting to like be around it. And if they leave, like, that's okay, it'll maybe appeal to someone else and they'll come in, and that like you'll just see that change, and that's okay.
Eloquent.
Yeah.
Do you drink a lot of coffee?
I do. I mean, I work at the Atrium Cafe. I, like, you gotta try our new specials. We have a weekly special coming up for Valentine's Day. It is the Cupid's Mocha. It's white chocolate and cherry. Mmm.
Is it good?
I don't like super duper sweet things, so for me it's not what I would choose. But a lot of people who come into there get like a Lotus all the time. Do you get Lotus? You come to the Atrium Cafe. Do you ever get a drink?
Americano. It's my drink.
Yeah.
Americano with cream.
12-ounce Americano?
Yeah.
Yeah. We it was funny, like, seeing you again tonight. I was like, where do I know you? And it's all the time in the Atrium. It's funny.
Oh.
Very, very fun. But yeah, those 5 years experience at Starbucks, I don't know, it's just like always resonated with me. I don't love all of Starbucks culture, and they have changed a lot over the last couple of years, and especially since they've changed, since Howard Schultz left. The company culture and the expectations has like changed a whole bunch. So I'm happy to be doing something else and moving on and trying other things, because I had been doing that for so long. But like, I love making espresso drinks. It is so fun. And I love the smell of coffee, and like being able to share that with people. And the coffee nerds out there who know, like, having the right textured milk at the right temperature totally changes like the entire like taste of like coffee. It's not just like the beans itself. The Starbucks actually like steams the milk a little too hot, where it's burning the milk, so it kind of gives it this like odd taste. And which is why you need to add like the flavoring and stuff to kind of like mask that taste, and then they make a little bit more money. It's interesting. It's very interesting.
Yo, Kara, you gotta start a coffee shop.
I really do. I kind of want to bring back have you seen Friends? So in Friends, they always like sit in the coffee shop or whatever, but like the big thing at this coffee shop was like they had servers, and they would like, who were also baristas. They would like take the order and like come back and make the drinks and then like bring it out.
Whoa.
And I would want to bring that to like wherever I end up, wherever I move, or like however many years, whatever. I just think like coffee shops have turned so much into like this grab and go, like get in, get out type thing. And there are definitely coffee shops that really embody the like come sit and hang out, like just, we don't have Wi-Fi, so just like
that like bar atmosphere.
Yeah, kind of a bar atmosphere, but like I think that makes it changes the speed of it. I want people to just like come and sit and hang out and enjoy their coffee and the fresh pastries and whatever else, because I want to like share that experience of like, this is really good coffee, so like please enjoy it and sip it, don't like chug it. You know, it's not just for the caffeine hit, it's for the taste and the flavors and the texture and everything that kind of comes with coffee that like not everyone is always thinking about, unlike coffee nerds over here.
Do you think coffee is medicinal?
I haven't found any medicinal purposes other than like keeping me awake in the morning. And but I'm sure like people used to use the coffee for like the caffeine medicinal purposes and stuff, But why do you ask? I don't think anyone's ever asked me that.
I don't know. Maybe the increased blood flow does something.
I don't know. Other than giving like
Increased
heart attacks
effects.
and caffeine. I mean,
I also know like coffee's. It's not just caffeine. Like there's a lot of stuff in there. Not sure what it does.
I know it's a
Maybe it's
diuretic. It can like get you going other places,
There you
but
go.
you know, I think I've always really, really enjoyed coffee, and iced or hot. Well, actually, you prefer hot coffee? I'm assuming.
I do.
A lot of people are like, iced coffee isn't real coffee and blah blah blah. I'm like, who cares? It still tastes good, and it's like another shared experience.
I feel like I need to move to iced coffee because hot coffee is undrinkable after an hour.
After an hour,
When it
what do
like
you
cools
mean?
off, like cold hot coffee is. I have no other. There's no other drink that like gets undrinkable after.
No way.
I mean
think,
smoothies, but
Well, yeah, of course smoothies.
like a normal drink.
I think lukewarm coffee after it's been like it was like 160 and it's finally cooled down to like lukewarm, like 100 degrees. No, it's so good.
I'm saying like you put the coffee in your car. Maybe people are more efficient and drink their coffee. I'm not.
Yeah.
I put it in my car. I go to class or whatever, and I come back and it's cold, undrinkable at that point.
No, so good. I think it's so good. Like everything's been able to like sit with each other for a little bit. You know, I think it's
okay.
like. It's like Thanksgiving leftovers,
It's like
you know,
that
after
aged.
after it's all been sitting for a little bit, it's like melded or mixed. It's all the flavors sat with each other. I think it's so good.
Is there a kind of coffee bean that you would die for?
Oh, coffee bean? No, I don't think coffee's
Think
good, but
anything.
you can get caffeine in other ways. I personally think the sadly, coffee's gonna get more expensive here. Just with there, did you know that coffee can only grow in the coffee belt?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
I think I've heard that.
So there's like
so the coffee belt is like South America.
yeah,
I know.
along that line, but it only the best coffee like only grows there. You can like try and grow it other places. It just like won't be the same.
Yeah.
But you know, just with like the way our planet has just been like kind of up in flames lately, and coffee has been
Oh no.
much harder to come by or not come by, but like grow. But I think it's gonna like become crazy, and
Are people gonna be able to quit caffeine?
you know, the fact that you're drinking an energy drink right now, I don't think so. I think people are just gonna like find it other ways. I am such a cold brew coffee person. I like my hot lattes, and but cold brew is just so good. It has the most amount of caffeine.
Really?
And yeah, because you steep it for like 20 plus hours, it like just all soaks into that water, and it's usually the most caffeinated drink that you can get at a coffee shop. And next is probably drip coffee, funny enough, just the way that it's like brewed and everything in the grind. But yeah, I used to drink cold brew because I could like against everything I just said, drink it really fast, and I could you know, it wouldn't burn my tongue or anything. But I really enjoy a cold brew with oat milk. That is my go-to order.
I'll try it.
Yeah, I don't. Next time you're at the atrium, let me know, and we'll we'll get you hooked on it. And then I don't like a lot of sweet things, so I just like don't add any sweetener or anything in it. But if I'm feeling really funky and spicy, I'll do 1 pump of syrup in my drink.
What kind of syrup?
Toffee nut.
Toffee nut?
Yeah, toffee nut with cold brewed oat milk. I think
Wow.
it's just like such a good pairing. It is.
Oat milk's really good.
Oat milk is really, really good. My my manager, he was like, I don't get the oat milk thing. I was like, I know. And he was like, you know it's a scam, right? I was like, I know.
It's a scam?
Well, there's not even like any substance to it. You just take like, you can make oat milk at home if you grind plain oats and with water and then strain it. That's oat milk.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, there's nothing nutritional in it. I was like, I know. He was like, then why do you drink it? I was like, it tastes good, and I'm lactose intolerant, so what do you want me to drink? It has the most, it has the best milk texture.
I think so too. Yeah, it's like that like creaminess. It's the creamiest milk.
Yes, alternative milk anyways.
Yeah.
I used to be a really big coconut milk, but yeah, I just moved on. Oat milk is where it's at.
What's your favorite fruit?
Fruit? Raspberries.
Raspberries?
Yeah.
Come on.
What about you? What are you gonna say, an apple?
My least favorite fruit is raspberries.
Boo.
Yeah.
Justice for raspberries. What's your favorite fruit?
You just made me think about coconuts because like they're so good, but it's so hard to get like coconuts.
Yeah.
It's such a pain.
Yeah.
You have to,
I like
to get a fresh coconut, like that fresh coconut milk. Oh my god.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever tried fresh coconut milk. Did you know the Rosars here sells coconuts with like a little straw so you can like tap into it and like drink it? It's definitely not going to be fresh. They ship them over here from wherever, but like you can get a coconut with a straw if you really want to at Rosars. It's fun.
I like bananas.
Bananas are
can't go
good.
wrong with them.
Mine is I don't like bananas for the texture. It like sometimes
Is that you don't like that
sometimes...
sawdust like
Oh.
slime?
No.
Wet
no.
sawdust.
Oh no, you just like ruined it even more for me. I can do it sometimes. I'm like, if I can just like eat this banana, like I'll be okay because I need the potassium, whatever. But yeah, if I don't like a food, it's usually a texture thing.
Yeah.
I don't like, this is my hot take for today. This is my hot take for the day. I don't like cherry tomatoes. Like the little guys.
I'm with that. They're bitter half the time.
It's a weird fruit gusher. I don't want it. I don't want it
Yeah,
exploding
I like that
in
too.
my mouth. I don't want all the seeds and all the stuff in my mouth and it'll just like burst and it's not good. And all you taste is tomato. I like marinara sauce. I like ketchup and, whatever. But cherry tomatoes, done.
Keep them out of your coffee shop.
Keep them out of my coffee shop.
Kara, it's been almost 2 hours.
Wow.
Do you have any advice for people? Any last things you want to say about Delta Sigma Pi?
Delta Sigma Pi is great. I've got 1 more year with it. I hope to see people there.
Are you gonna? You said you're not gonna. You were telling me that you're not gonna be president again.
Yeah,
but
I'm not going to be president, but I'm going to try and run for a different exec position. So
Which one?
VP of chapter operations.
Is there like a reason you want to do that, or just you want to keep? It
Just to kind of still keep like, say I have like an operations background like on my resume. I think that looks good, and then I didn't want to do SVP. That's just a lot of work too, especially my senior year. I kind of wanted to take the back seat and let other people. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I wanted other people to like take the reins for the chapter, but this way I can still coach and talk about like, okay, like share my experience as like being in president and working so closely with the vice president and stuff. This is a way for me to like use that chapter operations role for that type of like coaching and advising while still like creating different systems like for the chapter, like within the chapter.
Dedication.
Yeah. This has been so fun though. Thank you so much for having me.
Kara, thanks for being on. I really appreciate it. This was a good episode.
Thank you.
Everyone, look into Delta Sigma Pi. I hope you enjoyed this conversation and have a great day.